was a young Russian girl named Anya who lived with her parents in a remote countryside village surrounded by endless green fields and deep forests. She was about 11 years old, quiet by nature, and often lost in her own little world. Since there were no other children nearby, Anya spent her days wandering through the tall grass, making dolls out of twigs, or sketching animals in her old notebook. Life in the village was peaceful but lonely. Her only companions were the birds, the wind, and sometimes the eerie silence that seemed to blanket the valley when the sun went down. But not everything was calm in that village. Their nearest neighbor lived about half a kilometer away, a large, solitary man in his 50s named Grigory, who owned a pig farm. He rarely spoke to anyone, and most people in the village avoided him. Some whispered that he was once a butcher in the city. Others said he used to be a prison guard. But no one really knew for sure. Anya hated passing by his land. The stench of manure was unbearable, but worse than that was the sound. The pigs never stopped squealing, day and night, high-pitched, desperate cries, like something or someone was always suffering. And then there was Grigory himself. Whenever she wandered too close to the fence near his farm, she would see him standing there, not working, not moving, just standing, watching her. His pale eyes would follow her every step, and even when she looked away, she could feel his gaze drilling into her back like cold iron. One afternoon, as she was walking home, she thought she saw something strange. Just past the trees at the edge of his farm, a pig stood upright. Not on 4 legs, on 2, like a man. She blinked. It was gone. When she told her parents, they laughed nervously and said she must be imagining things again. Too many fairy tales, her mother said. But that night, Anya couldn't sleep. The wind rattled the windows and carried with it the distant echo of pigs, squealing louder than usual. It sounded more like screaming. She clutched her blanket tightly and stared at the ceiling, trying not to think about the fence, or the man, or the pig on 2 legs. The scratching sound at the window grew louder. Scratch, scrape, scratch. Anya sat upright in bed, her heart pounding like a drum in her chest. She reached for the small lamp beside her and turned it on with trembling hands. A faint glow filled the room. For a moment, there was only silence. Then, the curtains shifted. Not from the wind. They moved as if pushed. Anya let out a gasp as a large, slimy snout pressed against the window pane, followed by a pair of small, dark, beady eyes. A massive pig was at her window, trying to climb in. But it wasn't just any pig. Its skin looked strangely loose, almost like it had been stretched over something much too large beneath. Its hooves weren't clean or cloven. They were muddy, bloody, and looked almost human. The beast let out a low, guttural grunt as it scraped its hooves across the windowsill. Its body heaved upward. Anya screamed, louder than she ever had in her life, as the creature squeezed itself through the small window, smashing the lamp in the process and plunging the room into near darkness. She stumbled backward onto the bed as the pig tumbled to the floor with a sickening thud. The smell hit her instantly, a revolting mixture of manure, rotting flesh, and something metallic, like blood. The pig stood on all 4s, wheezing heavily. Then it looked directly at her. There was something unnatural about its face. Its mouth seemed too wide, its eyes almost intelligent. It let out a horrible shriek and leapt onto the bed, pinning her down. Its massive weight crushed the air from her lungs. Dirty hooves pressed against her shoulders, and its snout began gnawing at her cheek, slobbering across her face. She struggled beneath it, kicking and screaming, trying to push it off. The pig's breath was hot and foul. She could feel the sharp edges of its teeth near her nose. "Papa!" she screamed. Footsteps thundered down the hallway. Just as the creature opened its jaws wider, the door to her room burst open, and her father charged in, eyes wide with horror. He held a rusted axe in both hands. "Get off my daughter," he roared, and swung the axe with all his strength. The blade sliced into the pig's back. The creature let out a bone-chilling squeal and jumped off the bed. It charged around the room in a frenzy, crashing into the walls, knocking over furniture. Anya's father swung again, but the pig rammed into him, knocking him off his feet. The axe skidded across the wooden floor. The pig tried to bite him, but he grabbed its snout with both hands and jabbed his thumbs into its eyes. Screaming in pain, the pig turned and scrambled toward the window. It began pulling itself out, same as it came in.